Hello, hello, hello. Um, Hi, my name is Faheem Gupta. Um, so a lot of you know me. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a footballer. I'm a brother. I'm a friend, and I'm the creator and founder of. Well, I'm the founder of House of Zozo, and I'm a creator of this podcast, which is the Blue Chapter Podcast. What is the Blue Chapter Podcast? Well, the Blue Chapter Podcast is basically a podcast about celebrating authors. We reading and previewing books that change people's lives, that change people's perspectives, and yeah, pretty much just that. We discuss everything: life, books, and authors. Yes. Why the podcast? Why the Blue Chapter Podcast? Well, the Blue Chapter Podcast because it made sense to me. Belonging to a book club. You know, being around the most fascinating and interesting minds, and realizing that there's actually a lot more people who are interested in reading books. They just don't have that. The drive, and the inspiration as to who are they gonna share books that they're reading with. So yeah, the Blue Chapter Podcast because it's different. There's nothing like it. I checked and I checked and I checked. There's really nothing like it. And yeah, man, I thought I should do this and stick to it. So yeah, that's why the Blue Chapter. So the Blue Chapter mainly because blue is my favorite color, and blue is associated with royalty, back in the days. And yeah, man, the chapter, every book has a chapter, and in life we go through chapters as human beings, and yeah, so the Blue Chapter Podcast. Yes. So my background is of football. I'm a footballer first before everything. Well, after being a human being, I'm a footballer, and guitar ball. I play soccer, and I play soccer. I watch it. I don't really normally read about it. I play it more than I read about it or talk about it. So it always surprises people when we go to the field and I play and they're like, "Say, can't you go dlala ball so?" Like, do we really? So, so yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's me. That's me. Basically, that's who I am. I'm a footballer, and then after being a footballer, I'm an entrepreneur. Um, and yeah, found out House of Zozo, and yes, I'm a creative. In a nutshell, let's just say I'm a creative. So yeah, that works for me. Works for me. House of Zozo. Well, House of Zozo. Well, in the episode, the first episode, yeah, the first episode of the Blue Chapter, you, if I know the sound, I apologize about the sound because the sound is not clear. That's basically a podcast of that's someone else who was doing that podcast, and I decided to record, and he has everything planned out and lights and the setup and everything. But the only problem about him is that that was the second podcast that I went to with him that he recorded, and he has never put up any one of them. And it's been what, a year now? So yeah, almost a year. So it's very weird. It was very awkward to have somebody have your recording somewhere and they didn't put it up. So I happened to have my phone and I just recorded with my phone, for my channel's purposes. And yeah, and then I realized later on the sound is not as clear as I would like it to be. So for me, it was just one of those things, man. So I just put it up so that people can just see something, and currently we are on 12 views, I think, in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I'm not sure. Yeah, we are on 12 views. We are doing well. We are doing quite well. It's okay. It's all right. It's not bad. At least at least some people saw it. And yeah, man. So yeah, this is me. And yeah, House of Zozo TV. Wow, that's a nice question. So House of Zozo TV is basically a platform where, because I'm a creative, I have these ideas that I really want to put up and that I wanted to share with like the bigger guys and bigger companies. Then they never gave me attention. So I was like, actually, you know what? Rather than just relying on these guys, let me just start something of my own. It's gonna be a lot of work, I know. However, I must just do it anyway. So that's that. House of Zozo TV is basically anything that has to do with that's under House of Zozo, which is me, pretty much. Because you are the brand is you. So yeah, something like that. That, not something like that. That. So yeah, that's basically that. So under House of Zozo TV, you'll have the Blue Chapter podcast, how Cassis got taste, and you'd have videos from the Mafia's Food and Wine Fest, and yeah, previews and what happened and. So yeah, that's pretty much that. House of Zozo TV. Subscribe and like the videos, and tell your friends to subscribe and like the videos too. Yes. Yeah, well, the plan about House of Zozo TV, that's just that, that's just that, to actually have the bigger picture is to have somebody else run it. I'm gonna pay them, obviously. Have somebody else run it, and manage it, because there's gonna be it's basically that it's a television with a few episodes, not channels even. It's just one channel with different programs. As I said, the Cassis got taste and Mafia's Food and Wine Fest, videos, again with the podcast as well. So yeah, yes. The vision in terms of as far as the podcast is possible, as far as the podcast is possible, is concerned, as far as the podcast is concerned, I'm basically planning to have like young authors, man. Young authors. I've got a few people in mind. There's a lady I met in 2016, I think. Yeah, 2016, when Morfire was starting up. When Morfire was starting to blow up a bit, and we started selling it, and she was promoting. I met her. Her name is Naledi. I forgot her name. I forgot her surname, and I forgot how we met. Right, but I had already had her numbers and whatnot. So we met 2016, and kept talking and meeting up. Go at an event. At an event we were attending. It was called Kasi Cuisine. So we used to meet up, go Kasi Cuisine, and then we talk and exchange numbers and shared my number. And then I realized realized that she wrote a book, very interesting children's book. She wrote a book that was very interesting. So I'm planning to have her on. Also planning to have a very interesting good friend of mine. Her name is Homolemo. I formerly known as Homolemo Siabi. She's now married. She's Mrs. Unkosi, I think. Mrs. Unkosi, yeah. Homolemo Unkosi. I would like to have her because she's the owner. I think she's the owner and founder of Nimbo. And it is sponsored by the financial bunny and Nicolette Machine. So that's very something. When she posted also about her program, the Nimble program, and I saw that there's books in there and whatnot, and they deal more about children. So I'd also like to have her on and have her tell us more about the project that she does, and yeah, man, just have a lot of authors, a lot of people who read books. So pretty much just take this as the Blue Chapter, just take it as a book club on YouTube, pretty much. Do you understand? Yeah, I think that's it. See, yeah, that explanation, that first explanation there, it's okay. You can edit, you can cut it. Please cut it, and then just put this. Blue Chapter Podcast. It's a book club on YouTube. So yeah. Wow. That's a very interesting question. Do I read books? I do read books. And I've got a couple that I need to start and finish. Hopefully before the year ends. It's now September. First week of September. So I'm hoping to read and finish most of them, because most of them I've started reading. I just haven't finished them yet. So by the end of this year, by the 31st of December 2023, I should have read all of them. And we'll get into it now in terms of the books that I have, the ones that I really need to read, and the ones that I have. Because I like having books in my house. Yes. Okay, so the first book is The Story of Saint Michel by Alex Moon. It's Moon. Alex Moon. So this is the book, cover of the book. Don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's an autobiography. It looks like a book I wouldn't read or pick up at a bookstore. And the reason for that is I don't like fantasy. The novel, I don't do novels. It gives people false hope, high expectations, especially females. We'll have a talk about that on the Blue Chapter podcast. And then I have here Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. However, this is the Sesotho version. Got it school when I was in grade 10. That was in 2000 and grade 10. Wait, 2006. I was in grade 10, 2006. Some of you were 2 year old. Some of you were 3 years old. Some of you were not born. It's the gray hair for me. It's not here because very old. So yeah, it's written Tsela e telele e yang tokologong. So Long Walk to Freedom, Mandela. Got Mandela here. And I've got another Mandela, Nelson Mandela by himself. The authorized book of quotations. So basically these are Nelson Mandela quotes when he was in prison, before he went to prison, after he came out of prison, and yeah. So I've got at the back there's a quote here written. It reads rather: a good pen can also remind us of the happiest moments in our lives, bring noble ideas into our dens, our blood and our souls. It can turn tragedy. It can turn tragedy into hope and victory. I'll start there again. A good pen can also remind us of the happiest moments in our lives, bring noble ideas into our dens, our blood and our souls. It can turn tragedy into hope and victory. So this was from a letter, to Zinzi Mandela. I think that's her daughter. Written on Robben Island, on the 10th of February 1980. That was 9 years before I was born. Yeah, so that's another Nelson Mandela by himself, another Mandela book. And then The Wind of Dawn, an anthology of poems. I had this book this book has been in my house, I think, before I was born. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, but it's been there. My aunt had it, my mom had it, I think my grandmother had it, I have it, and I'm hoping to pass it down to Tato and my kids when I have them. And yeah, it's basically a book about poems, and I used to steal poems in here and write to girls, and they'd still reject me. Yeah, it's okay, I understand, but they can't reject me now, because I'm not into, I mean, I am into girls, but not, no, I'm not. Okay, the Bible, in Jesus' name, amen. No, have to have these on the blue chapter. It's funny because it's blue. On the blue chapter, this is blue. Mandela is just blue there. And yeah, so on the blue chapter, we'll be focusing more on, as we will be focusing more on books. There'll also be scriptures that we take from the Holy Bible. And yeah, man. Oh man, this is Mr. Bulelani Balabala. Mr. Bulelani Balabala is an entrepreneur and a business speaker, like my mentor from a distance. He probably doesn't know, but he's my mentor. I like him very much. He's the founder of T, Township Entrepreneur. Yeah, T. Must follow him, and then you'll find all the details there. And then got the amazing book of everything, your complete guide to personal success, wealth, health, and happiness. Looks like this. Got this book, and this book basically is this book is basically about everything. It is basically about everything. So as you can see, I'm still reading it with that divider there. And where I am now, I'm currently reading about making a baby. I'm serious. Let me read here. Wear boxer shorts and baggy trousers. That's number 5. Make love more often. That's number 6. And they explain. And number 7 is do it in the morning. Number 8, make love in the missionary position. We're gonna stop there. Yeah. So, as I'm telling you, this book is about everything. Investments, how to treat a lady, how to make babies, in what positions. There's positions there. How to cook, about everything. How to take care of yourself, how to, take good care of yourself as a guy. And yeah, man. So yeah, that book is about everything. Very interesting. And then right here, oh man, being positive in a negative world, weekly nugget. This is one of the books I've also had since I was in high school. I got it from an ex of mine. Backstory though, I never dated in high school. Never dated anybody in high school. I wanted to, but I didn't. Not that I couldn't, I didn't. Ne? I'll have my best friend Kahiso Maleka over on the Blue Chapter podcast, and he'll also explain to you how it didn't happen. Story for another day. So yeah, this book is basically about self-titled, being positive in a negative world. So it inspires you to become a better person, not to follow trends. How when everything is negative and you can just stay on a positive note or on a positive lane or see things in a positive perspective. And it was written by Sai Chavalala, former teacher of my ex and her friend, who basically fought each other because one wanted to date me and me I wanted to date the other one. It's weird. I'll talk about it one day. Yeah, so this is, and I'm saying it's old. This is Mr. Sai Chavalala. He's also one of the authors I like to have, and I've already spoken to him about this, that I need to have him on the podcast. So we need to get to 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, between 1,000 and 2,000. Then we'll call him. Then we'll have a chat with him about all the books. This is not one of his. I think this is the first of many. He's written a lot of books. It's very inspirational. Appreciate him, and yeah, man, we'd like to have him on the Blue Chapter podcast. Here's another one. This is Sibusiso Mulin. Sbuda is also an author. He works very, very close. He works very, very closely with Mr. Bulelani Balabala. And yeah, I'd also like to have him. This is his book, Walk Through the Barriers to Success. And yeah, man, he's the author here at the back. I would really, really, really like to have him on the Blue Chapter podcast. Then this was another one, Victory 365, Daily Motivation for a Champion's Heart. So basically, as an athlete, as a soccer player, as a footballer, I'm not a soccer player, I'm a footballer. As a footballer, I read this book every day, just like your daily devotions. So they collected different scriptures from different athletes. So your favorite scriptures and athlete, they put them in here. Then you talk about it, and then you divulge into it, and then daily devotion. 300 the Victory 365. Banyana girls, they did very well. They need this book. Must holla at me, eh? It's not mine. I don't know who wrote it. Wait. Yeah, it's a collection. It's a collection of it's a collection. Then here's this one. You would think it doesn't have a title, but here's the title here. Tom Rath and Barry Conchi. Strengths-based leadership. Great leaders, teams, and why people follow. So this is a very, very highly recommended book. Strengths-based leadership. I want to read this book so bad. So when I indulge, or when I read this book, I want to be able to have finished all of them, so I can just focus my energy and my everything into this book. I really, really like it. That's why I picked it up. And I have this one, The Full Tank Life: Fuel Your Dreams, Ignite Your Destiny by Ben Tankard. Ben Tankard is this guy over here. He's American. Sounds American. He is American. And yeah, man, It's talks about having a full tank life, you know, being full of life, being motivated every day, you know, and yeah, also like to read it. Very interesting book. Now this is when we go deeper now. Into the Shadow of a Saint, a son's journey to understanding his father's legacy. Kenwiwa. This is it, Kenwiwa, man. So this is basically about um, African political indulgement, what. So, yeah, yeah, very interesting. That's why, you know, if I have a book, just know that it's a very interesting book and I will read it. So this I got from my neighbor there, Papa Ray, you know, the one I was in a podcast with. So yeah, I also like to read this. And then FAF. This book is called A Visitor's Guide. Weird, strange, bizarre, and true. So this book is basically about everything that happened to or in the world. Yeah? How cultures became to be cultures, how things were done, and so on, all those stuff. So basically this book is about this book. We would give it to aliens who are about to come. They're here. That's the next pandemic. Aliens. 2023. I'm telling you about this. Aliens are the next pandemic, guys. You'll thank me later. So this book will give it to aliens for them to understand how the earth works, what's in earth, what happens, what's operating, what's leading, and all. It's very interesting. It is very interesting. It is very interesting. When things happened, and here is the rules of the road. Apparently, in some towns, let me just find one here. Yeah, in Germany, it's illegal to run out of petrol on the autobahn or the motorway. Yeah, interesting. I know. In Britain and Australia, it's illegal. It's a legal requirement for taxis to carry a bale of hay. In Youngstown, Ohio, in America, it's illegal for taxis to carry passengers on the roof. Where is it legal? Where is it legal? Even in South Africa, in Mozambique, you can't have someone sitting on top of a quantum and say, I'm paying 25 rand to go to town. It's not right. Yeah? Let's see. In Pennsylvania, that's also America. In Pennsylvania, it is illegal. It is a legal requirement for any motorist driving on a country road at night to stop every mile and send up a rocket signal. Wait 10 minutes for the road to be cleared for livestock and continue. Oh. This is the kind of books we'll be reading, guys. Hey, follow me. Hey, follow your boy. Hey, subscribe. 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 Was it? Is it here? Subscribe here. Somewhere here. Subscribe. Just press that subscribe button. And then you'll be fine. This is your boy Faheem Gupta. And I also have the Alchemist there. And I'm planning to collect more books. I'm currently also doing, I'm busy with a bookshelf. As soon as I found the nice space to chill and do the podcast with my visitors, and yeah, I'll be able to do that. So hopefully by that time, my bookshelf will be done. It's almost done. Just needs the shelving. That's it. And yeah, man. So we are done for today. So I'm looking forward to the real first episode, official first episode, yeah. the Blue Chapter podcast. And yeah, just like that, we are. Please subscribe, like, and smash that subscribe and like button. Yeah. Don't forget to like my